$4 to join your Patreon to listen to you.
That's okay, though. That's okay. It's stuff we talk about anyway. So, Storm Chasers, today we have our special guest. I believe, Dr. Linda, I believe this is your third time on.
Yeah, but who's counting?
Yeah. I think third time in counting, right?
Third time's a charm.
Dr. Linda,
I love your audience, Storm. I love working with them. Thank you.
No, absolutely. And they love you too. And they have great things to say about you. You are a radio legend, clairvoyant, candle magician, spiritualist, metaphysician. What don't you do? Epidemiologist, everything, pretty much everything with health, mind, body, spirit.
It is about mind, body, spirit, and health. I did start with undergraduate with health education from San Francisco State. I got a BA in health ed. Then I went to Michigan, go blue, for a master's in public health epidemiology, which of course is the big word today with the epidemic.
Yes.
And I left the public health field about 4 years later because I was in a commercial airline plane crash, a Boeing 737. And I became very psychic that day, but I didn't know it. I didn't understand it. And
you didn't understand the change.
Yeah. No, and back in the 80s, there wasn't an internet either. Go Google. There was no Google. There was no internet, okay? The internet hit in 96. This is 81. Long before all this. So, and a lot of your listeners weren't even born yet.
I wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't identify life without the internet because it's all you know, right? Yeah. But there was, and I too had a younger day life expansion experience, in my 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, and now I'm in my 60s. It goes very fast for those that think, oh, you got all the time in the world. You really don't, because one day you're going to wake up and go, what happened? It's a weird journey. It's up and down. But I was in a plane crash, and for about 12 years, I ran from the psychic gift. I became very psychic. There was no one to really talk to. I did go to a psychic about a month after the accident when I was, for your listeners that don't know me, when I came down the ramp of the plane and I heard a voice talk to me as I was coming down the emergency chute. And I hit my knees and I ran on the grass because the plane cracked in half, where I had a vision an hour and a half earlier that I saw the plane cracking in half. And I said to my partner, because I was on company business, I said, doesn't it look like it's going to crack there? He thought I was just tired because we were up in Northern California on a health job doing environmental health inspections for an insurance company. And when we were sitting in the coffee shop, I looked at the plane. I saw a fuelage or an exhaust settlement, and I said, it looks like it's going to crack. He didn't know what I was talking about. We boarded the 737, which was Air Cal at the time. They don't exist anymore. And we did crash land to avoid collision with another plane taking off on the same runway. And you can't have this on one runway.
No, you can't.
Because the probability of survival was 2 billion to 1.
Wow.
And we beat the odds. Yeah. So I was out of sorts for about 6 years, but I was out of my body that day. I stand 5'8". My soul or an entity or a spiritual psychic thing had me 50 feet out of my body for 4 months, Storm. So it was like being a cyclops. And I didn't know. There was no one to talk to. So I was like, two different opinions, like an eye over here and an eye over there. And I became very, very psychic and very connected to God and the other side. And I was scared. I didn't know what it was.
I have a question, but I have a question though. So what happened to you sounds like you had like a walk-in spirit.
I just got chills. If you get chills when somebody says something, you're telling the truth, because little goosebumps is confirmation. Yes, I went to a psychic about a month later, and I'd only been to one once before, and I thought my friend told her everything about me because I didn't know how it worked. But she said, oh, you're a walk-in. I said, what's a walk-in? And she says, well, it's when one soul leaves and another takes over, and whoever entered you is a psychic. I said, I'm not psychic. Well, here we are 40 years later. I'm known all over the world for what I do as being a psychic, a healer. I became a healer after some surgery. I became a medium after more surgery, but I did retire the mediumship, talking to the dead people, after 22 years. Once in a while I'll take somebody, but it takes me 3 days to recover. I don't want it. And I don't want to go to the dark or the paranormal. I like helping now. Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, I was in a plane crash, hit by a fire truck, total car, had the white light experience. January of 84, the car was spinning out. You might get chills. And as God is my witness, I heard this. I saw the white light go through the ceiling. I was driving a Camaro at the time, and it went into the heavens. And this loud voice that spoke to me when I slid down the plane ramp 3 years earlier, said, "You can come with us now or stay and do." And I was given a message. Next thing I know, I'm screaming, and the paramedics were getting me out of my car with a jaws of life. And I got on the pavement of the road, and I said, "They want me off the planet. They want me off the planet." I mean, who goes through a plane crash, fire truck, and then towing a car? I was nuts. I was overwhelmed. I was depressed. I was scared. I had no clue. They took me to UCLA, and then I called some friends, and they said, "Another accident, Linda, another accident." But in retrospect, it was like an initiation or a preparation or a school. They chose me for some reason to do work to help people. I don't know why me, but like the opening of your show, to bring it back as to what I do professionally, I do have a PhD in metaphysics from a school that doesn't exist anymore called the American Institute of Holistic Theology, and it was all run by Ivy League graduates. It was an amazing place to get a degree. I am board certified with the American Alternative Medical Association, and I got the PhD in metaphysics to combine with everything that happened to me spiritually. And then I connected it with my master's in public health and epidemiology and made it mind, body, spirit, which is what it is.
Nice.
But I didn't know what to do with it in between the chapters. Like when I was your age, I had just been hit by the fire truck.
Oh.
When I was 27, the plane crash, 28, the fire truck. And I think I was 30 when I had the white light. So it was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Nothing made sense. But now, gratefully, yes, I got into radio in 1994 as the #1 radio psychic. The station here in Los Angeles called K-Big 104, which was always pop music and rock, created a psychic segment that lasted about 6 months. And then the creative director said, "You're so good, start your own show." And he told me how to broker. This is before the internet. So I'd be on AM stations, FM stations, then it was cable radio, then it got to the internet. Then I was on TV shows, and then CBS, which is where I ended up, CBS Radio, flipped in 2009 to hip hop, and FM talk went off the air. Howard Stern was on that station many years before he was at Sirius. You know, it was that kind of talk. So the last decade, I've done readings and shows and appearances on TV and whatnot. And now we're in the end of 2021, and I've branched out again. And I'm helping people more with their health, not just the candle magic, which you came to me for. And excuse me, I'll have you explain how you found me with the research and Kris Jenner and the candles, and we'll go into that. And then we're going to tell people what you and I are now doing together to help them with wellness and longevity, all based on DNA. And DNA, you can't lie about it.
You can't lie about it, and you can't change it. It is what it is.
You.
Yes.
It's you.
Yes.
But yeah, I work as a healer. I heal people where doctors stop on the physical. I get into the mind, body. I get into the organs, tissues, muscles, blood, different parts of the body where emotion is lodged, like maybe the breast or the ear or the eye or the lung or the kidney or the pancreas. I always find emotion. And after about 7 days of a little journey, people are like whole and strong and not grieving or not in pain, or the abuse or the molestation or whatever was haunting them.
It's gone. It's gone. Yeah. I think more than anything, you give people hope.
It's more than hope. It used to be hope. A lot of the charlatans will give hope, something to believe in. I have, and I'm not bragging, but I have thousands and thousands of boxes behind me. On the computer, I have emails. On my website at lindasalvin.com, all the testimonials from people just like you that I've touched through the years. My stuff happens.
It does. It does. Because I was still trying to figure out how you knew my expiration date of a contract. And I'm like, I had never told you that. I had never told you that. And we had already been knowing each other like a year at that point. But it just blew my mind when you were like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh. It's like I'm talking to a psychic. Okay.
It's like, how did you know I was going to sell the house in May? Or how did you know I was going to meet this guy in April? How did you know I was going to get a raise? Or I just talked to a talk show host, a California talk show host. His name is Bill. And I've known him through other radio people for 20 years. And one time we were doing a Friends show that's been online forever. Alan Laurel, give him a shout out. And I was sitting next to this guy, Bill, and we were on the air, and I said something to Bill, and he thought I was nuts. He said, that's not me. That's not right. That's not blah, blah. Well, I talked to Bill 2 days ago because I'm going to put this product that you and I are going to talk about on his station. So I said, I want to talk to you. He goes, Linda, got to give it to you. I said, what? He goes, I thought you were full of it when you said that, blah, blah. I said, why? What happened? He goes, it all came true 6 months later. I said, yeah.
That's how it is. And for everybody's wondering, she's already told me about my love life. You guys are so interested in my love life. You know, if you think you are the one, you probably are not. I have not met that person yet.
Not yet, Storm. Not yet.
And you can ask Linda. It will be a she. You can ask her. She's here.
Absolutely. Not a she, he, she. It's a she. I can see her. I know you're going to have the marriage. I know you're going to have the woman. I know you're going to have the family, but not yet.
But not yet. It is not time.
No. So I can see it. I even told you I'd come do the wedding because I do weddings as a minister. But you're not there yet.
Yeah, not there.
For those that ask, Storm will say, well, what about this one? I'm going out on Saturday night. What do you think about this? And I'll say, have fun. Right? Is that what I tell you?
Yeah, and you said don't get her pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. We don't need any baby Storms right now.
Not right now. Not right now. So... oh yeah, and I'm going to be very successful. She said it. So I'm just
you already look what. Okay, go back, Bo. This is October.
Yes.
And you came to me in March-ish.
That was in 2020, though, right?
2020. Yeah, this is the end of 21.
Okay.
You came to me kind of freaking out because the lockdown was starting, and your show, and plus
it was a weird time. It was just. It was
it's still weird.
Yeah, it's still weird, but it was
the start of it.
Yeah, and I had wanted to know, like, who is this lady? I was so intrigued.
Well, you found me because you were researching what? Who? Where?
I was researching this famous family that I always drag.
Does it start with a K?
It starts with a K, a lot of Ks, right? And a lot of surgery and a lot of whoredom. But nonetheless...
babies, a lot of babies.
A lot of that too. But... you popped up randomly in an infomercial that you did back in the mid 2000s. I want to say
we filmed it in 2006. The internet has it wrong. They said it was the 90s. No, I learned candle magic by a Santerian priest in 1999. I was trying to get a boyfriend I had at the time to open up, and nothing. I worked with the people here in LA was working. So somebody said, "Oh, try this guy downtown named Michael." Went to Michael, he told me what to do, and all of a sudden this guy started emoting so much I wanted him to shut up, but the candles worked. So Michael said, why don't you come back down here? I'll train you in candle magic. Did you get chills? Or a
I did.
Yeah, woo. So I went back and I said, why do you want to train me? I'm Jewish. I don't know about all this stuff. I mean, I'm psychic and spiritual, but this is weird voodoo. Voodoo, translated, means healing, health. Mm-hmm. But the average thinks voodoo, witchcraft. No. So he said, well, I want you to help people because you're on the radio and you will help more people. Plus you'll buy from me. So 25 years later, I still buy from Michael. We just talked about things 2 weeks ago. I know his kids. They've all grown up. I know his wife. I mean, I've been around 25 years. I met his mom. He was brought up in Santeria. His dad opened up the first apothecary. They're from Cuba. And I learned, and I went on the air one night. I was on national radio, and I had about 400 markets. Like you're all over the world with it, with YouTube. It's different today.
Right.
But I said, okay, you guys, I got these candles. Some are for money. Some are to get rid of negativity and bring in good luck and remove blocks and obstacles. The others for love. I went home to 25 orders, and Wicks of Wisdom was born. So I did that in 1999. Fast forward in 2005, I met somebody at a wedding who said, oh, you should do an infomercial. So she turned me on to this producer who knew Kris Jenner, and we interviewed different people to be the show host just for my candle line. And it was 2006 in February that we filmed, but because of internal difficulties and production and the candles and just putting it all together, we didn't hit the air till about November of 2008. And by that time, Chris had already gotten her deal with E. But she'd also done my candles. She'll never admit it. But then somebody by the name of Storm Monroe found me through them. And guess who knocked off my candle line? So why don't you explain this?
There was an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I've seen pretty much every single one. But there was an episode where Kim had candles burning like in her closet, right? And I remember her actually telling Rob, do not go in my closet. Do not mess with that. Now, I haven't been able to find that episode since.
Because somebody saw us or you, and somebody just went, take it off.
But there's one episode where she was adamant about do not go in my closet, and you could see some candles in the back. So it was something that she wasn't trying to like put out,
advertise and promote.
Right. But obviously she was doing something. So, but we don't know, excuse me, but allegedly, that family's into much darker stuff. So I'm leave that alone. That ain't got nothing to do with Ken. That ain't got nothing to do with you on other things that they do.
Oh, it's bigger.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I feel like they used you and then acted like they didn't know you.
Oh, that's exactly what happened.
So,
I haven't talked to Chris since we did the show. I've got pictures. Oh, I should have brought him. Maybe if we take a break, I'll go get the picture and we can show it. But
I might have it. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, I sent you one, right?
I might.
I have to go find it. But no, she would not take my phone calls. And then 2 years ago, their company called and wanted to use a piece of the infomercial on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. My attorney said we need $1,000 if you want 46 seconds. They said no.
Why?
So then they were going to use 18 seconds.
Okay.
So my attorney said, just take all 46 seconds, but you cannot insult Dr. Linda. That was part of the contract. So I got a whopping $500 from the richest people on the planet, right? And then they used 46 seconds. They misquoted the date of when her mother had done the show back in the 90s, which wasn't true because she was the assistant Kim at the time. Wasn't true. It was 2006. Bruce had not transitioned at that time. Kylie and the other one, Kendall, were like 4 and 5. They were on the stage. Kim ended up insulting me with the butterfly on the show. And even though I wrote their legal team a letter, it doesn't matter. You can't fight them. You can't, they own
everything.
Yeah. This is why you can't find that episode. No, I have no contact with them. I paid her, and I want your audience to know, oh, you did that show with Kris Jenner. No, I paid Kris Jenner $25,000 to be the show host. And everybody thinks I did a show with Kris. Rather than those were my candles, my name, she was hired because she didn't have a job back then.
And you paid her $25,000. I want people to understand that was mid-2000s. You paid her $25,000.
Yeah, today it'd probably be $100,000, right? The way the inflation.
But how much work did she even actually have to do?
Not much. She learned her lines. She was a great actress. If you go, people can watch the infomercial on YouTube under Wicks of Wisdom. And there's moments where it's like, hi, I'm Kris Jenner, and these are Wicks of Wisdom and Linda. It was all staged. It was all a script. It wasn't just her talking. I was more unscripted because it's my product.
Right.
But when she went out to the audience, it was all scripted.
I just feel like for you to have given her that kind of opportunity and that kind of a paycheck, for her to just be like, she literally could have brought you just on one episode of the show, and that would have done no.
Never. And then some of the psychics they did, or when she was pregnant, is it going to be a girl or a boy? Oh, it's a boy. No, it was a girl. The psychics weren't always right. And I'm like, why not me? But I never knocked on the door. I've never harassed her. I don't. And I don't know why. I don't know. It hurts. It hurt for a long time. It was insulting. Like, hey, I gave you a break.
But I would tell you this though, even from like the people who work for them as like the staff and assistants and stuff like that, she feels like just to have my name on your resume is good enough. I don't have to pay you a normal wage. So I'm going to pay you minimum wage.
Yeah, because I'm Chris and I'm Kim and I'm this. Well, I also sent you that email. I don't want to get into it, but some person outside of California who worked with them found out some inside dirt about covens and stuff, and where I was kind of stuck in a jar somewhere. We'll talk about that on another show. I think it'd be a brilliant lead-in. But it's something, yeah, I've heard a lot of weird stuff. You know, they may have billions, but I don't know that they're always who they say that they are. I don't know. I haven't seen Chris since 06.
They're not happy.
You would think, yeah, let's get Linda here. She helped me when I was struggling.
Just saying, you would think. But you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a peace of mind, you're not at peace. So, well,
that's true. And I was just reading something about Carl Jung, who was the father of metaphysics back in the 1900s, who I kind of not worship, but base a lot of my work on, because he was the one to coin the term synchronicity. And when I started looking at all of these accidents related to my career or my place in life, and I started understanding God had something to do with this whole image of life beyond, not just prayer and religion. It has nothing to do with religion. Spirituality is just the birds and the butterflies and mountains and communication and unconditional love and helping each other. But Dr. Carl Jung, who was a student of Freud,
yes,
and he went out on his own and became a doctor. He's the one that noticed all the dolphins jumping out of the ocean and sink. And he's the one that said the synchronicity of the planet. He started understanding that. And just today, it's on my phone. I can't get it right now. But he was saying how being quiet is the best, relaxing and being quiet is his meditation and healing. Because after talking, he needs a few days just to calm down from the words.
You do.
And the way he said that, it's like, this is how I find peace.
Yes.
Because we're all so out there. And we all want to be heard. And now with social media the last decade, everybody's promoting, everybody's a somebody, everybody's a something, everybody's got the right shirt, the blouse, the haircut, the beard, the t-shirt, the whatever, right? Everybody's promoting something. And there's yours. We'll get to it. We're almost there. What is this? Oh, it's got my name on it. Your name's on it. Turn it a little more. Nope, that's your barcode. We want your name.
Oh, there it is.
And there's me. What is this? We'll get to it in a moment, folks. Don't go away. But Dr. Jung was saying in his message, by being quiet and turning off all the chatter, you find your peace, which is a form of meditation. Yes. But you don't have to be like, with a mantra. You don't. I teach people just like, be still for I am God. And if you get quiet for a moment, you might hear the bird or the lawnmower or the washer or the dog snoring.
Yep.
You don't have to turn it all off. But what I learned through all these spiritual experiences, when I found God, I saw God as a different piece than me, because I wasn't integrated at the time. God was that thing I was chasing, the spiritual. I was chasing it. And then one day I realized I am it. He's in me. I can pray. Pray is talking to God. Meditation is listening. Just like Dr. Carl Jung was saying, back off from the noise of the chatter and find peace. Because It does. If you talk all the time on your shows and you're at the gym 6 times a week, making that beautiful body of yours be stunning, or you're on a date, because I know he dates, or if you're out to eat. Storm also takes a shower. He's here.
I have a life. Yeah. Who knew?
But you got to turn it off. And if you just sit in front of the TV or a stream or listen to your own shows, just where you're not interacting, you're going to find some form of peace, because all families have dysfunction. No two people agree on everything at the same time. Everybody wants to know about their love life, their career, their finances, especially in these horrible times of the pandemic. It's frightening.
It is.
People are quitting and losing their jobs, and places have closed and places are vacant, and we're working from home, and it's hard. But how can you make money in this? Or how do you open up? And a lot of people come to you, as well as me. I would like to start a business.
Yes.
Really? What would you like? Well, I already started. Okay, what did you do? What do you have an LLC? Did you talk your tax structure? Did you talk to the city? Did you get your name yet? Well, what do you mean?
They don't understand. I mean, I even do consultations, and they're like, "Oh, that's a lot of work," and it's like,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We make it look easy, but they don't see the back
what goes
end.
on behind production. Just like it took me. Well, I learned about this one ring lamp about 6 months ago, but I finally got it. And I finally got my new radio station up. It's taken almost 2 years to rebuild because of all the complications. It's not like you just upload an MP3, hit a button, and there you go. There is process after process that takes place. But my career, as you found me, you were researching, let's get back on track. You were researching this family. And in that research, of which you did a show, you found me, and then you contacted me.
And you went into, I think you actually went into a reading first, and then you told me about your products. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Like I was a skeptic at first.
Oh, yes, you were. That's what I love about it. Yep.
Total skeptic. You're like, no, listen, look, just try it and let me know. And then you didn't hear from me for a while.
And I called you 2 or 3 times, and I kept saying, are you okay? Because I said, what do you do? Oh, I got this YouTube show. Oh, what's it about? Oh, you don't want to know. I said, is it kind of seedy? He goes, well, it's more adult. I said, okay, what's it about? Well, and he never called back. I said, well, just keep me posted. How you doing? I called 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden, I got an onslaught of people calling me for candles. I'm like, how'd you find out about me? Oh, yeah. Storm Monroe, he's the best. I'm like, what? And then I called up, what are you doing?
That's pretty much how it happened. Then
the candles worked. That's why you did it.
And they did. And not only did they work, I wanted people to understand how it can be used as a manifestation technique, because that's really what it is. Well,
one of my clients who I've known, he's now 38. He's older than you, but I've known him since he was 10. Because when I was on the radio in the 90s, he used to listen to me with his mother listening to me.
Oh, wow.
So I've helped him over 27 years. We figured it out. And where his business grew and the success he has and the legal problem I walked him through. And he would pay me to do the candles for him because he didn't have time. And then he'd call the testimony. Oh, this happened. We won the lawsuit. Yes, we secured the property. Oh, my God, I did break up. Oh, my God, he does want kids. It all happened. So now I'm going to go into partnership with him, and we're going to grow it again, because he so believes from his own experience. And that's what it's about. When you experience something, you want to share it. So you found information online about the Kardashians, and you did a show, and I had to kind of tune it down. Like, that's not quite how it happened. It wasn't about America, but it was Mexico. I just had to tweak it.
Yeah, I had to tweak it. But overall, people... They were interested. They
got it because you found your niche, and you had success with the money and success power. You had success with the good luck to remove blocks and obstacles and negativity. Yes. You burned the healing. You burned the health. You burned some soulmate. You've done a lot. It
works. It works. And stuff will come out of nowhere. You're like,
yeah, it's not the same day you light the candle. It's usually you do the 3 and then it starts to happen, or you're driving, or you're in the shower, you're at the gym, and like, oh my God, it must be the candle, because it is. Is it odd or is it God? It's spiritual. What Storm is telling you, you become your own alchemist. Most people sell you a candle, all the herbs and oils are in, you light it, and you meditate, and it supposedly changes your life. This is based on Santeria and Kabbalah. I had a Hasidic rabbi that blessed everything with me. He's deceased now, 8 years, I think. I wish I had it in writing. But I was trained by the Santerian priest, and then I put it together with Kabbalah. So it's not just your normal occult, but it serves like a lot of it with the pagan and the Wiccan and the Santeria, but I embellish it to a higher level. So people who are afraid of the occult because they don't understand the occult, you become your alchemist. As Storm has learned, I give you the candles. I give you the oils, the formula. I give you powders. I give you a petition. I dictate the words that go on this piece of paper that gets burned in the flame. The candle represents the soul of man in Kabbalah. And the wick, when lit, is the flame, which is fire, which is light, which is God. So you're feeding God this petition. I have had people complain, oh, your 99-cent store candles don't work. Well, Storm's been to the 99-cent store when I was out of candles, and they don't work the same as mine, do they?
No. Let's say no. Let's say no for me to be nice.
No. And so people know the kind of wax and wicks of wisdom can only be found by 5 stores in the world that you have to have a certain connection to purchase. The wick is constructed. It's all science. Just like this is science. We'll get there in a minute. Science.
So now let's get, before we get to this real quick, I do want to say this. With your readings, I want to say your readings have been absolutely accurate.
I'm psychic.
To a T. So listen, even with me going to Africa, right? The trip I thought I was gonna do, that didn't happen. So I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm not going to Uganda until next year. But I'm like, wait, but she told me I'm going to Africa. I'm going to have the opportunity to. Boom.
I said there'd be another opportunity besides this, and you may have choices or something. I don't remember verbatim.
Yeah. Boom. Out of nowhere. Opportunity to go to Ghana in December 26th through January 4th or whatever.
What do you know?
Whether I go now, people have to understand whether I go or not is my choice. But the point is the opportunity was there.
Arose, yes.
And it arose before the year was up, just like you said.
Well, a lot of people don't understand psychic predictions. And I was just going to say about the wick. Our wick burns for 125 hours. The others don't. They can go maybe 2 days. Ours goes 7 days. You become the alchemist. You participate in what's going to happen financially. And it's like anything else. Faith without works is dead. Like Storm just said, okay, I made a prediction. It came. Now he has free will in the universal will. Okay, here's an opportunity. Yes or no, you're going to take it. Here's a woman for you to go out with. Oh, I think I'm in love. I said, okay, have fun, Storm. And 3 weeks later, it was like, whoa, I guess not. Okay, just keep dating. That's why it's dating. A lot of, like with the guys, it's a lot of frogs before the prince. And with the girls and with the guys, I guess it's just a lot of flies before your princess. I don't know. But you will get your glass slipper. And my readings, people will call, it didn't happen. Or like with Bill, it took 6 months. No psychic is 100%, and I'm the first to admit it. Don't believe everybody on TikTok that's doing card readings.
Because they're not. They're reading stuff off of Google. It's horrible.
That's where you're getting hope. That's where you're messing with somebody's mind.
Okay.
You talked about hope. I don't just feed hope. I'll tell the truth, and a lot of people don't like me because I'm honest. I tell the truth. Oh, no, it's not going to work out with this person, but I do see a marriage, which is going to be blah, 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 blah. Or I do see you getting a promotion, but it may not be that company. What do you mean? I'm going to leave? Or you might promote, make 15% more at a company across town. Really? Yeah, open your eyes. There's more than this company. No, I have to stay, but they're not promoting you. I'll figure it out for you. I had a girl yesterday, a woman I've been reading 25 years. She's in her 70s now. She had a horrible thing happen with her condo and the person upstairs and leakage, and she's going through all the insurance companies. I said, just got a lawyer. What do you mean? So she came for good luck, power, and money and success to clean up the mess. I said, now go get a lawyer to take this off of you. You don't need to do this yourself. They're not going to pay you. They'll pay through the attorney. So all of a sudden she had relief because no one helped her. But I had to figure out, oh, this one did that, and this one's liable, and the homeowner said no, and the other tenant said yes, and this insurance said. My job is to analyze very quickly and discern your situation quickly. Yes. I have a brain that, I don't know how I do it, but you've seen it in like 2 minutes, Storm. You'll come to me with something where you're like, blah, blah, blah. I say, slow down. And I'll say, it's blah, blah, blah. Just like you were freaking out about the show, and 5 months later, you showed this wonderful plaque from YouTube of success.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know I was going to end up having an interview that was going to explode everything. So it's just, more than anything, it's also taught me patience. Things are going to happen when they're meant to happen.
Well, I told you to slow down a little, and you did, because you were like out there, because I used to be out there. Yeah. Yes. You're more grounded. You're more grounded.
Yeah.
But it's more, you've got huge success. People, this is not somebody who fell off a cabbage truck. This guy's educated with a master's degree. You don't even know half of the background, and you think he's just funny. You're hysterical, you're gifted. But the average person who calls in, oh, I want to do a YouTube show, I say, go. What are you going to talk about? Shoes? Okay.
Yeah.
Or did
You
you
know
know
what's going to make your show different? How are you going to appeal? And it's a lot. Honestly, even for you doing radio, we deal with stalkers, people talking bad about you, not making fun of us, but literally saying like,
oh, it's
we're horrible
nasty.
people, you know?
Yeah. They cut, and especially in today's day and age with the internet and 5-star ratings and rip-off report and all that stuff, they cut people up because they have nothing better to do. And it used to hurt. I'm not inviting people to do it, but I work really hard, just like you work really hard. And I may not be perfect, and not everybody's personality gets along, and I don't meet everybody. But boy, there's some real cutting edge, narcissistic, sociopathic, bizarre weirdos. I'm like, I'm just a psychic. I'm just trying to help you. But you don't want to hear what the guides have to say. Yes, I tune into spirit guides. Yes, I feel empathically. Yes, I feel clairsentiently, and I see things clairvoyantly. A friend of mine asked me about this girl she wasn't friends with for a while. I said, all I see is like prints, like animal prints. Oh my God, their whole house is decorated in animal prints. I picked up the animal prints and I focused in on the girl, and then I was able to figure it out. But I get the initial hit. Oh, it's a blue car. No, it's really black. Well, sorry, it didn't say white. You know, I'm close enough. But when I was channeling dead people, I did define the suicide or the gunshot or the hanging. I even dictated a suicide letter. And one time I even came up with their grandmother's tomato spaghetti sauce recipe.
Wow.
But speaking of recipes.
Speaking of recipes, we are here today to talk about this. What makes you you? What makes you you? So this is a revolutionary supplement brand called Nutrition. Why is it called Nutrition? Because it's all about you. Your DNA, what makes you up. So this right here, actually, let me show them the supplement capsules.
No, I got powder so they can see the other side too.
Oh, you have powder. Yeah, that's right.
I got the powder. Little green vegetable capsules, not gel, but vegetable. So I bought the powder.
I got the capsule. Yep.
And you got the capsule. But what is this? Why are you taking it?
I take this because
I said to. No.
No. Yeah, you told me about it. But besides that, I am a supplement freak, right? I try out all these different vitamins, and I've done that since I was a teenager. The issue is I don't know what I need for my body. I don't know how much I need for my body. I don't know if I'm even actually absorbing this. We don't know the quality of these certain brands that we buy off of this site
exactly.
or that store.
Your pee comes out super yellow, you know, because you're taking calcium, E, D,
yes,
3, B1, and you're bright yellow. That's because your body's not absorbing the element. Like I said to you, I said, if I drove into Atlanta and I picked you up, I said, let's go to Walmart, or let's go to Whole Foods, or let's go to Costco. We both need supplements. Well, we're both buying the same thing.
Yeah.
But we don't know if we're absorbing it or if we need it. So what happened with this?
So what happens is you submit your DNA to this company.
How do you do that?
Well, with the DNA swab.
They want hair?
No, they want cheeks. They want saliva.
Cheeks. Oh, cheeks.
Yeah, that sounded weird. They want saliva. I think you actually have a kit.
Maybe they send you a box like this.
Yes, DNA collection kit, right? Now, after sending in your DNA, right? This is a private company. They're not selling your information.
No, don't freak out. The government has no idea who you are. It's all barcodes. See the barcode? They give us the barcode.
And let's back it up real quick. Let's back it up. If you have this, which is called an iPhone, Apple already has your thumbprint and your face, so chill. All right, moving on. Just chill. It's okay. All right, so then what happens is they analyze your DNA and they come up with a specialized formula for you, so you know exactly what you need to feed your body.
Oops. But what they're doing to back it up is they're taking the DNA and they're looking at all our genes. They are analyzing the genes. Let me just show something here. Your audience may not be able to see everything, and I think you have a better picture, but here's a sample.
Come over just a little. There we go. All right, now I'm going to back it out. There you go.
See the yellow, red, and green? The green dots are my genes, like ATPSC1, which is the mitochondrial function of our body. I came into life with that gene on my own. I didn't inherit it. The yellow gene, and Storm's going to show his in a moment. You'll see different layouts of the colors because he's not me. This is mine. You out there will get yours. The yellow I inherited from one of my parents. And that one, for example, would be the APOB, which is my healthy lipid support, which is my fat, which I've dealt with all my life. Now the red
there you go.
Something you inherit from both parents, but they don't say which parent. But I inherited, like, here's one, healthy blood pressure, and my blood pressure does go up and down, and my cardiovascular issues are related to this CYP1182 B2 gene. So there's a bunch of genes in our body that are legally coded. The company takes the swabs, they give you the sticks. They even give you an envelope to mail it back to them. They know if it's at the USPS because it's tracked. They'll go, oh, we just got you in the mail. Oh, you haven't swabbed yet. Please do so. They're on top of it. Then they analyze it. Then you get not just your chart of all your genes and what you inherited and what you need to fix your problems. Like the red I just talked about, blood pressure. My dad had cardiovascular issues. My grandfather, his dad, had cardiovascular issues. My grandmother on my mom's side had cardiovascular issues. It's red, meaning both parents. I inherited heart disease or blood pressure issues. I had a catheter ablation on my heart in 2002. So I am prone to higher risk of cardiovascular. Oh, there's much more. But what they actually do is they analyze your genetic code, and through the computer, they analyze your supplementation to feed your genes. So in turn, you start feeling healthier, stronger. Certain ailments go away. We're not allowed legally to say what our personal experiences have been. Right. But I'm 90, maybe 100 days into this. I can tell you one thing, I don't drink coffee anymore. I was drinking 10 cups a day. I drink a pot a day, doing all my work and buzzing around and iced coffee. No cravings for caffeine at all. It just went away. I sleep better. There's a lot that goes on.
It's a different kind of graduated thought. It's a different kind of DNA test. This is not ancestry or.
Nope, it's nothing about your ancestors. This is your genes for your health.
Yes. Make sure you follow my link, euphoriascience.com/stormmonroe. All right.
So if they go to your link.
And I'm gonna actually show them mine while you're
okay. If they go to your link, I would suggest they read euphoriascience.com/stormmonroe. It's going to be overwhelming and confusing at first, but you might also leave a phone number, or they can even call me for help, and I will sign them up, or you can sign them up. There's different ways to do this, folks, especially during this pandemic where you may not have enough money. I don't know a lot of people that have enough. Well, the Kardashians have enough. Maybe they don't. I don't know. You can also make money by teaching and educating the next person on their health. So I threw away 7 bottles of stuff like D and B and whatever I had in my cabinet. I threw it all away because all I need is this, because it's clinical dosages. Storm, do you happen to have your supplemental fact sheet there?
You know, I have it somewhere.
Because if you and I compared, we would probably find a different amount on certain ingredients. This is all plant-based, people. It's non-toxic. There's nothing artificial. There's no soy. There's no GMO. It's straight plant-based ingredients.
Okay, so before we get into my report, we're going to start with the weight report, which is everybody's trying to keep their weight together.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. If it gets too confusing, there's 3 ways to get it. They can go wellness, or they have a package that's weight and wellness. Then there's the package which you got, which is weight, wellness, skin, and sport, which explains what activities are best for your body, or what's best for your skin, or what you need to eat, or whatever. So there's different packages, And yes, it's a little pricey at the beginning because you have to do the DNA swab and get your analysis. Then it's inexpensive, but you're getting everything your body needs. And you've lost weight and your skin's shiny and you're feeling good.
I feel good. I feel good. And I feel good that I know that this is actually for me. I'm not just taking a guess. Now, what's funny is some of these ingredients I was already taking separately, but apparently I was taking way too much.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Yes. Me too. Because the doctor will say, oh, you need 10,000 IUs of D. Really? Here it says 29.
And I'm at 39.9. Yeah.
But the doctor said you need 5,000 IUs. So
you don't. Even let's see, vitamin C. I'm at 40 milligrams. Where are you?
76.
See, different. It's different, right?
The beauty is Storm is Storm from his mom and dad. I'm me from my mom and dad. I'm going to see my dad, who's 92, on Monday, and we'll find out from my grandparents what he.
Oh, did we lose her? Oh, your sound went out. Hold up. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good. It just went out for a sec. Yep. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
What about now?
Am I done?
I hear you now.
I can't hear you.
Okay, let me try one more time. Okay, what about now?
I can't hear you. I wonder if I have to stop and I have to sign in again. You're in the show.
Yeah, just come back in. Come back in. Okay. I'm gonna text her, guys, and just tell her to actually come back in. One sec. While we do that, exit full screen. All right. I'm gonna tell her to come back in. Let's hop back in. But anyway, while we are waiting for, there we go. Okay, let's see.
There we are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. It happens. It happens.
And it's still Mercury retrograde. So technical issues, communication issues, problem after everything. This is normal. Anyway, Pick it up.
But anyway, even when I look at my blend, right, one thing that they have, 156 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid. Now, ALA. Now, that's a supplement I was taking, but I was taking about 600 milligrams of it.
See, I don't even have it.
Yeah, you don't even need it, but I do.
Not everybody needs it, so I don't even have it on my list.
Yeah, but I only needed 156.
And you were taking how much?
600.
And you're having better results with your overall well-being and health and other things we can't talk about on the air, but you can share on the phone about your changes.
Yes.
Because your body's receiving what your body needs.
Exactly.
Clinically. This is a clinical dose of vitamins and minerals.
Now, what's funny is they recommend I added cinnamon to my diet. I never knew cinnamon was so important, right? Mushrooms. I don't really like mushrooms, but.
Well, it's the powder. You're not real. Oh, are you eating them or are you doing the powder?
It's like blended into like the capsules.
Yeah, it's all in your ingredients.
Yeah. Right, but 500 milligrams. So I really needed my freaking mushrooms. Like, who
There's
knew?
something in the mushroom that stimulates maybe blood or your thinking clearly, or maybe your digestive system's a little better and more regular, or maybe your heart beats a little more actively when you're working out. Who knows? Your sleeping has changed. You know, I know one person who was pre-diabetic and now her AC1s are under 5.
And even for me, I'm at risk for the diabetes, for the cholesterol, alcoholism, addiction, all of the.
Stop right there, because you've experienced, as have I, without like the hangover or the jag of a sugar binge or a carb binge, like from tortilla chips or something that's going to offset the insulin and give you a bad mood or a hangover. I think there's more of a balance because your body's being fed so that you can tolerate. I'm not saying go out and get drunk,
Of course, of course.
And I'm not saying go out and eat, 10 pounds of corn chips, but the body recovers quicker without going through the dips and the
It does. Without literally being swollen for a week. Because I like Mexican food, but you go and you eat and you feel like you ate.
You're like, oh my God, until it digests. I mean, think about corn tortillas or flour tortillas and enchiladas with the beans and the cheese and then the sauce and then the dip and the guacamole. And you're eating all that. It tastes delicious and you're having a great time and the restaurant's loud. But then it's like it sits there because your intestines have a hard time going, exactly. What are we doing with this?
What are we doing?
So what are we doing? And for a week, you can't zip your pants, you can't button your blouse, and oh my God, until it passes, or maybe you want a laxative. No, you don't. I'm not saying go eat Mexican food and drink a bottle of alcohol, but I'm just saying your body will metabolize a little differently. You will respond differently. You may not even want the whole box of chips. I don't know.
You might not. You might not. You might not. What about B12? How much is in yours?
I have 1.2 micrograms. No, wrong one. 1 milligram. Just one. I used to take 500.
Now I have 122.5 micrograms.
See, we're all different because you're you and I'm me, and whoever's listening, they'll get theirs. They can call in and say, hey, mine says this and I feel that, and oh my goodness. But the beauty is not only can they buy the product as a consumer, they have the opportunity to become what's called a nutritionist, where you learn like Storm's learned from me and I learned from somebody, and I've gone to the conventions, and the next convention, which Storm and I are probably going to, is in Cancun in February. Yes. And you can join us too. It's for everybody.
If you hop on this opportunity, you sure can. And so, let me see one more thing before I show.
Then the proprietary blends, the EPHO2. I have 125 micrograms, and that's with the milk thistle and broccoli sprout extract and green.
See, I don't even have that.
See, we're different because you don't need that blend, and that's for EPTDC1, which is E. I'm looking it up.
Santo said, I'm Mexican. You would love my cooking. Oh.
I like corn tortillas. I can't digest flour. And I love them when they're grilled in oil and they're crunchy.
Yes, yes.
And they go, ah. But the EPH, let me see. It's not on this one chart. It's on the one probably on my desk. I couldn't bring everything here because there's so much information. But what we do is there's an app. You can download the app. You can go to Storm Monroe, Euphoria, UFORIA science.com/Storm Monroe. And that will take you to his own website.
Yes.
And if you have problems, feel free to contact me at lindasalvin.com. And I will help you with his website, since I got him involved and he's busy, but I understand it because he's just getting his feet wet like all of us. It's a brand new company. It's a brand new company,
but it's gonna take over for sure because there's nothing like it. And
there's nothing like it, but there are doctors, just so people know. There's MDs, Ayurvedic healers, PhDs. There's one doctor who was a chiropractor, John Harmon. He's big with this company. He's up in Idaho. Mm-hmm. I've been talking to him about my dad's dementia. He sent me some of his product. He spoke at the convention. He was a chiropractor, had a bad root canal, which interrupted something neurologically with his hand. He could no longer be a chiropractor. He went into brains. So he opened up a brain institute. Then he found the Euphoria. Not one client or patient walks through that door without signing up for this, because he won't treat them till he knows what's going on with their DNA and that they're starting to get healthier. Then he has more to work with when it comes to the neurological problems of headaches, migraines, dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever. He's dealing with tumors. But he puts everybody on this first as like, okay, you want treatment from me, help you. And that's how with my practice, I wrap it in when people are calling about love, money, travel, schools for their kids, the jab, the disease, all that questions that everybody's got. I say, and there's this other product that will help you stay healthy. And, oh, you're having money problems. You want to share this with people, you'll start making money as well. I don't like MLM. Well, it's not really like that. And the difference with this company, the woman who started it, so that people out there know, it's not a fly-by-night company. I have a PhD and a master's. The woman who created this, Dr. Jen Myers, has 3 PhDs: nutrition, Chinese medicine, and genetics. She's a genius, and she put all this together. So I met her at the convention in Las Vegas in August. I talked to her about what's going on with the vaccines and DNA and NRA, and this will build your immune system to keep you strong through this whole pandemic. I'm not saying it's a cure, but you want to be stronger.
You do.
Healthy.
You definitely want that. You're going to need that. I'll just put it that way. You're going to need that.
Well, the beauty is you feel it day by day. Like the way that it works, Storm and I and everybody, you do what's called pre-nutrition for 30 days.
I did that.
That detoxes your body. Probably what, the 3rd, 4th day, you start to feel a little clean inside, like clear. You can start to feel it working. And by the end of the 30 days, it works on your telomeres, which is at the end of the chromosome. And then they send you your 40, 50 pages of reports on you, like 50 just on the weight management. The wellness is 20 to 30 pages. The sport, how many pages did you get in there? About 40, 50 pages?
No, the sports is only 22.
Oh my, sorry. And then the skin?
The skin is 30.
All right, so you're looking at 100 to 150 pages of documentation based on every gene in your body and what supplemental package they're creating for you, so you don't have to go to the store and go, I need this. Oh, that's on sale. Buy 2, get 1 free, right? You don't need any of it.
Yes.
You throw it all away. Never mind commercial marketing. It's you in a jar. Hold up your jar. It's you, it's Storm in his jar, and me in my jar, and you in your jar.
And look, literally, your name is on the side. It is for you and for you only.
Yeah. If I gave it to a friend or a relative, they're not going to benefit from this formula. If I took yours, it's not going to work for me.
Exactly.
If you took mine, you're not going to benefit from it because it's not you or me. It's ours for each of us.
And I want to say, S Shark, yes, you can use this. Follow my link in the chat, as well as Lisa's going to check it out. Make sure you email me, Lisa, with your updates.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to throw in another spiff. If you're people who love my candles, because I've sold a lot of my wicks of wisdom with your wonderful audience, if they want to either book a reading or buy candles, of course, they can email me and I'll give them a discount by phone, not on the website anymore. I'm not doing that. But I will also, if they decide to sign up with you as the Euphoria Nutritionist, I would be happy to give them 50% off on the Money and Success candles, Storm, because I will know they're serious and I'll help them attract their customers.
Nice. There you go.
We work together.
You're literally getting your health, your mind, your body, everything together.
And you find out what you inherited from one or both parents, whether it's adrenals or your thyroid, or if it's cardiovascular. It could be prostate for the men. It could be something in the female organs that might have been hereditary. It could be cancer. It could be Alzheimer's. It could be Parkinson's. There's thousands of answers.
There's thousands of things, but you're gonna learn, and we probably won't have time today to get into the skin and sports, but definitely
we can do it another time.
Yeah, but let me just tell them. Let me give them layman's terms. Summarize what I learned. Basically, what I learned about my skin, which I know I inherited from mom's side because mom's side has skin problems. Dad has never had a pimple in his life.
Did it show that on your chart that it came from one?
Well, it shows me that it only came from one, but I know mom's side. My dad has never had a pimple ever. Like he's like, how do you get a pimple? It's weird. But anyway, But what I learned was I inherited a gene that makes it difficult for my skin to detox itself. So it's simply recommended for me to exfoliate 3 times a week. I get facials 3 times a week. Maybe everyone can't do that, but I do. And it made me very aware of, wow, this is really genetic on why some people do struggle with skin issues, as well as the eczema and all that other crap, right? Sports DNA. What I learned is genetically, I am not a runner. I am not a runner, right? But I don't have the body of a runner. So it's recommended that I stick with powerlifting and weightlifting.
And that's what you do. But that's what you've been drawn to anyway.
Yes. And even if you
part of the charts, what people might like, when I read the weight management, I thought, well, I already knew that.
Yes.
Well, wait, but now it's confirming it genetically, even though this is what I've been told or I've learned. Okay, more water, stay off the sugar, do this. But it's also showing what I inherited from relatives, whether they came from, well, my background's Russian and Polish. God knows how many beyond. The generations kept passing it on to each new generation. So I know that, okay, I let go of certain foods.
Yes.
I don't chew gum anymore, but that was during lockdown. I just decided not to chew gum. I've gotten very healthy and I don't miss it. Once you're not addicted to like the food and the markets,
you don't miss
it.
You don't even want it. You don't even want it at all. But it was just so interesting to read the sports DNA.
It confirmed for you.
It confirms a lot of stuff. And then when you think, like you just mentioned, you being Russian and Polish. So, okay, if it's true that I'm Cameroonian, if it's true, those were hunter-gatherers, which means they ate meat. They ate meat. And they worked they worked outside. So it's just, it made a lot of sense. But anyway. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, because we're all so unique in the company. They've got 400 million formulas for everybody because no two are alike.
They aren't.
You can't.
They are not.
We are similar. Like I can have 100 people out there call and say, "What about my love life?" Well, one's married, one's gay, one's straight, one's coming out, the other's divorced, the other's a widow. Everybody's got a different thing, but we all have one question: what about my love life?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's just who you are in your journey at this time. And what Storm and I are offering you now, besides his consulting for YouTube or mine with the psychic and the candles to help you, now we want to give you an opportunity to stay healthy, especially with this horrible, horrible pandemic we've been going through. And we all know somebody who's died or been really sick or intubated. We don't want that. You're here. If you're watching the show, you're still here with all this craziness out there.
Yeah.
This will keep you safe, give you an opportunity to start a business, but most of all, to help you get healthy, strong, and teach somebody else they can do the same. Regardless of the defenses, we can teach you what to do with that. But off the air, we can tell some of the real change.
Yeah. And I can always do a Patreon or a members only, and I can.
Oh, if you do that, let me know. I'd love to do that with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can bring you in. I can tell you guys about my own experiences. So let's run through my report here some. This is the weight one. All right. So first one, boom, group 1, dopamine support booster. Okay.
Oh, that's something people need to know, because most people, when we have weight issues or body issues, we lack enough dopamine and we get depressed or kind of low. This will feed that. I got that too. Mine's right here. Dopamine support booster. Is that it?
Yes. Now, what are your colors? Mine are yellow. What are yours?
I have, the first one is yellow. The two in the middle, the FTOs, are green. And then the bottom one is yellow. See how different it is? You've got all 4 yellows. And
there's yours. Hold on. I'm going to put it back on you.
So I inherited from one parent the DRD2, which is what on the list? The DRD2 is dopamine addictive behavior. Well, gee, yes. I know I did inherit that. So see, DRD2 means dopamine addictive behavior. I was lacking, but I inherited from one side of the family. But the nutrition's balancing that, so I'm not moody.
Yes.
And I feel more. Don't you feel more balanced? Kind of like.
Well, that and you just don't have the cravings for certain things.
No, that's why I said I don't have coffee anymore.
Yeah, because when we're eating the chips, when we're craving the snacks, it's all it's
mental. Well, that goes back to what I was saying at the top of the show about the commercialization of the food industry, they put all this addictive chemicals into the man-made food anyway.
Yes.
You want the sugar, you want the hamburger, you want the bun. And people may not know this, but even your cigarette filters are cured in sugar. So when you stop smoking, you're not just detoxing from tobacco and nicotine, you're detoxing from sugar. So you're overeating because you're hungry because of the addiction. It's one big cycle to keep you sick.
That is the industry. Okay, so yes, for me, all yellow, and
wow.
Yeah, and I know that came from, you know, one side. I know what side, because I have one side of the family that's fat and one that's skinny, so I pretty much know what that is. Okay, so
I just want to say something. What it says here on both our sheets, I'm sure, but just so people know, it says the ingredients provided in the dopamine support booster are blends of vitamins, minerals, and amino acids like L-tyrosine, D-L-phenylalanine, chromium picolinate, microactive resveratrol. You buy that stuff anyway, but this is managed clinically for your body to help improve mood and stress by reducing the stress hormone production, regulate the neurotransmitters to help normalize eating behaviors, support thyroid metabolism, stimulate the production of neurohormones to support thermogenesis to help burn stored fat, and help lower your insulin levels. We all get the same information, but we all find out that we get it from someplace else. And then, as Storm and I have said, our formulas are fixing our individual bodies.
Yes, yes. Next one, leptin resistant support booster. The only one I have that's yellow is FTO.
My FTO was green. So FTO, green means I was born that way. I didn't inherit it. It's just how I was made, how I decided to enter the world. So the FTO deals with our BMI. It deals with our body fat storage. Now, I have been losing weight, and people that have seen me on your show a year ago can see a little change in my face or my bone structure. But I've always had an eating disorder ever since I was 6 years old. They had me on diets, and I was down to like 128 or something in college, and the worst of the time of my life I was like 245 because I have an eating disorder, and sometimes you just can't stop eating. Sugar and carbs are addictive like alcohol and drugs. It's a problem, and it's not like, oh, look at the fat girl. Now they call it, plus size, and now they've made it more acceptable as opposed to body shaming. But I was body shamed all my life in school and ridiculed as the fat girl with the pretty face. It's horrible. But now I have something that's helping me. And trust me, just like you out there, I look at every website and I buy every tincture and every pill and, oh, this is going to work and that's going to work. It never worked. I sent them back up my money back. This keeps working.
It does. It does. Okay, let's move on. Okay, insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism support booster.
You read it because I think that I didn't bring it with me. Genetic assessment. I know I have it, but why don't you read a little bit of the definition so people can understand what that's doing with their blood, the pancreas, and the thyroid, which is our body, and insulin.
So it says description, a targeted blend of nutrients formulated to help stabilize glucose metabolism and enhance the metabolic action of insulin to lower the risk factors for heart disease.
Now, let me stop just a second. Because as a metaphysician, people who have too much insulin in their body, like I have more insulin than I need. So I'm very sensitive. But the opposite, so with hyperinsulinemia, which is me, it's the opposite of a diabetic. A diabetic needs insulin. They don't pump enough out of the pancreas. Metaphysically, what does that mean? They lack sweetness in life. So I treat the problem from a different perspective. Now you're going to be fed properly so that your pancreas excretes properly, your thyroid will work, and your body starts to do its thing as God intended.
Absolutely. All right. Type 2 diabetes and obesity. Poor insulin sensitivity by cells leads to high blood levels of insulin.
So are you at risk of that? I can't see it. Or did you have a marker?
Yeah, so I'm at moderate risk. At moderate risk. Yeah. And it's just interesting to look at this and see. All right, so let's talk about the ingredients that they provide. Alpha lipoic acid, chromium
percolonate.
Percolonate, thank you. Berberine, which I was already taking. And actually, yes, McThistle seed extract. So it's going to moderate gut microbiota.
Right, and you're not going to get that going to the market and picking it up off the shelf. And like,
You're not.
like I said, we could go and spend $100, $200, $300 a month on this stuff, and you're not getting the right ingredients. Here, it's done for you.
But I love how it recommends here at the bottom to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. And you know what? When I don't sleep well, you do start to feel heavier.
Yeah. Sleep is very important. So is drinking water. So is drinking water. And now they're discouraging bottled water because of the plastic going into your lungs and your digestive system that isn't as healthy. And if you're going to drink from the bottle, make sure it hasn't been sitting in a hot car, because then the plastic chemical changes. So you're swallowing the water, but you're also getting some of the particulates from the plastic. You don't want that. So you want to, prevent as many health injuries or cancers or who knows what. I'm sure somebody's got Parkinson's in somebody's just in their family, or somebody's got sickle cell anemia, or they've got bulimia, or they've got dementia, or they've got cardiovascular, or they've had gut issues or thyroid. Most people are hypothyroidic, and we go on thyroid pills, and it doesn't always help. You get this, and all of a sudden you're working right.
True that. I wanted to come to this section here, Group 5, impaired I can't talk today.
Satiety, which means you never feel full. You're always hungry.
Yes,
you can't saturate your hunger. And a lot of us are like that. Like, you could eat a full meal. Oh my God, you had the salmon and salad and vegetables and potatoes. You go home, you're still looking for food because you didn't get what you needed.
Yes.
Right? They still say you have the best Italian meal or Chinese. Well, Chinese will go right through you. But but you're still not full. Something's not right. So maybe you need a cookie, or maybe you need a carb, or maybe you need a nut, or maybe you need a fruit. All of a sudden, this explains. Why don't you read it? Because it does explain how the genes that we inherit give us what bulimia means: ox hunger.
Yes.
So the people that, eat 10, 12,000 calories or then throw up or take laxatives, it's a disease. Just like anorexia is a disease, but it's complicated with the emotions and your dad and your mom. But the actual action of either starving yourself to death to look thin, or eating so much and then purging, all of that stops because your genetic makeup will be receiving what you need.
Just that simple.
It heals.
Okay, let's see here. I know we won't have time to go through all of this.
Well, that's what we were saying. We're going to get people who do this. It's overwhelming because there's so much information that they give you based on your DNA swabs.
Yes.
Now, what's that, the collagen? Or is that the powder, the vanilla and chocolate?
Oh no, this is a skin report. Oh, you still see that? My bad. I have to get it off that screen. Hold up. We don't want to go into extra products right now. We just want, there's so many different products. So many. But we want to do one thing at a time. But yes, it was the vanilla and the chocolate, actually. Yeah. So I wanted to show them real quick. I just want to show them what the sports one look. Yeah, why not? Yeah, because I don't have it. I'm interested too. Why not? I did wellness and weight. Okay, so I'm gonna go down, down, bam. Wow, you got a couple of red ones. Let's read the red ones. So the red ones are all in endurance. And you got that from both sides of your family. So are both sides of your family non-active or not really athletic? No, the funny thing is, no, both sides are athletic. Mom's side, they're dancers. Dad's side, dad did every sport, but he did best in like the footballs and the basketballs. He really wasn't running around and really being active. Yeah. Okay, so
I see a couple of reds. What are the genes? Remember, people, this targets each gene. So he has a few red ones, and that's what came in from both mom and dad. So pick 1 and 2 and talk about what you're being corrected and improved on that you inherited that you didn't even know.
All right. So yeah, we'll just start with endurance, and let's go to, I don't want to do power performance. Let's do,
Oh,
okay.
he's cute.
As he poses with it with the fake. We'll do endurance response. That's fine. So there's a bunch of there's a bunch of gene names, one ACTN3 and ADRB3, NRF2, and PPARA. So I'll just focus on those because I have reds and I have yellows.
And I don't have any of those.
Now, okay, endurance is the ability of a person, be it athletic or otherwise, to exert themselves and maintain exercise intensity over a long period of time before they get tired. The ability of an individual to perform a sport or workout depends on many factors: your nutrition, training, genetics, environmental considerations, etc. Right? So this is an area that I genetically struggle in. Okay, now.
Okay, stop. So when you're at the gym and you're either on the treadmill, which I hate, or you're pumping iron and moving, you know, you're doing weights on your arms, or you're doing your leg lifts, or whatever you're doing, rowing, whatever. Do you get tired, or are you starting to go longer, or your workouts deeper now? Or have you always struggled?
My workouts are long anyway, so it's not the treadmill, it's not even the weightlifting. It's when I swim. I get tired really fast.
Okay.
When I swim, and I get tired crazy fast. So for me,
that's your endurance.
Yeah.
That's going to change because you're only a month or 2 into this. So at 4, like they say, give it the first 120 days, which is 4 months, and then it all starts to kick in.
Yes.
So at the end of 4 months, I bet you'll be doing more laps than you are now.
Probably. So then we move on to power performance. Now, these are people that sprint. These are people that have the quick twitch muscles. There's another word for it, but your track people, this is what they have. They take off and they're able to go.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. And I've never been a runner. I've always was a slow poke. I can jog and then I get tired very quickly, but put me with weights and I love it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are the quick twitch muscles. People that do the like Usain Bolt, like genetically, his muscles are crazy. Well, he's the fastest man in the world, so of course. But anyway,
he was born that way because of his genes.
Exactly. So for me in power performance, I have 2 greens and then 2 yellows. So not horrible.
Well, it's not that it's not even horrible, or the green just means it's how you were born, and the yellow means you inherited from one parent. So now you're going to just make it better. None of this is horrible. Even if they were all red and you got everything from both parents, or you were all green, which nobody's got because you were just born brilliant and perfect. You still need the ingredients. Even for the green, it keeps you balanced or it heightens it. The yellow, it's like Swiss cheese. You're filling in the holes. You're just packing it in.
Yes.
With nutrition.
But I love when I get to the section about muscle soreness and cramps and personal injuries.
Yeah.
I'm at low risk.
Okay. How do you feel when you're done training and you come home exhausted because your muscles are tired and you did the work and you just plop down and you're like, I can't even talk, right? Because you did the work. But are you able to recover a little better the next day, or do you not feel, you feel the muscle tension in the workout, but are you more enduring it better? Is that what's happening?
For the most part, I'm able to go from, because I weight lift one day, then I swim the next day. So sometimes I'll have legs one day and then I'm in the pool the next day.
For your arms and everything. Okay.
So I'm able to go back and forth. I'm able to I can do multiple workouts a day anyway. It's just swimming. I'm exhausted, but yeah.
I'd like to, when you get back from Africa, we should see what your swimming activities are like and how they compare.
We should. Muscle strength. Okay. In this section, I have high muscle strength response. I already knew that though.
But it shows why you knew that, because you inherited it. Just like with the weight management, some I thought, well, I didn't need to pay for this to get that information, but it all made sense as to why there's things I don't like about myself with my food addiction and that I've battled since I was a child. I was born allergic to milk. I mean, as soon as I got here, there was a problem,
Yes.
but it's all genetic. It's no one's fault that I was an allergic baby. What are these allergies? Oh, it's my genes.
Oh, well, I blame my mom because my mom didn't breastfeed me. So I said,
oh, yeah. Maybe it was a better thing. You'll never know. So that's your problem. Okay. You just told the whole world.
That's okay, though. She already knows. I say it all the time. But no, overall, I loved reading the reports because you're learning about you. Some things I knew, some things I didn't, but now I have an explanation for it. And now I have a product, like you said.
And are you buying fewer products off the shelf now? Like you don't.
I'm only sticking with this. I don't see a need. Yeah, there's no need.
Remember, it's clinically dosed for
Yes.
your body, my body, his body. There you go. There's the ingredient list in mine.
So why add and mess with the formula if they already have done it for me?
If it works, don't fix it, right?
Yeah,
and all these years, we all spend hundreds and thousands of dollars buying every gimmick, everything, this, 2-for-1 and blah, blah, blah. And you're healthy and you're okay, but now you're going to get even stronger and more healthy for what you really need. Or maybe you won't get sick, or maybe this won't happen, or maybe you won't. Maybe I won't have a heart attack like my dad and my grandfather. Maybe
let's hope not. I'm
more preventative now. That's my background, preventative medicine, and I took it into holistic medicine and spiritual health. The definition of health, by the way, with the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare is the state of mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. We all have something. None of us are immune to everything. It's impossible.
It's impossible. We're humans, right?
Thank you.
Yes. And so I said we didn't have time, but whatever. Why not? I did the skin report too. So
I did not. So, look at everything's green for you. So this is just how you were born. You can't blame anybody on this one. What does it say?
Okay, so this is skin glycation linked to skin aging. All green. So I am at low risk for early onset aging. So
you're going to look like this in 40 years.
Pretty much.
You're not going to need a facelift.
Pretty much. Oh, wow. Next section is detoxification and antioxidant activity. And that's where I'm at a yellow. So my skin has issues with actually detoxing itself and getting the foreign compounds out of the epidermis.
Right. So if you're taking in a food or a drink that's a little more toxic, and for you to expel it through the pores, it's a little more difficult in the digestion.
Yes.
Or if even putting on suntan oil, maybe you have a harder time absorbing it and maybe getting rid of it by the time you're at the end of the exposure. Everybody absorbs differently. I may want something with coconut or cocoa butter, and you might hate that. Okay. Our bodies and skin are different.
Absolutely. The next section, detoxification, antioxidant activity, and skin degradation. And I'm green. I'm good. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you're pretty healthy on that.
Yeah, so my skin's not going to fall apart. So that's good.
No, and you're not going to crackle, and you're not breaking out. You got beautiful skin.
Chemical toxicity and stress. Oh yeah, my skin does not respond well to stress.
Most of us don't, which is why we either stress eat or stress drink or work out, or we do something to eliminate or go gambling or massive sex moments. Who knows? If you got to work it out somehow, or goes back to like Dr. Carl Jung was saying, just be quiet and turn off, get away from the talking.
Yes.
And relax.
And relax.
And decompress. Yep.
Now, I love here, this section, skin, hair, and eye coloration. I'm red.
Okay, so that you inherited from both parents. Read what it says so your audience knows what that means. Because they might be green, they might be yellow.
Yeah. Genetic variations in this gene, which is HERC2, are associated with skin, hair, and eye pigment variability. HERC2 tan is the physiological response stimulated by UV radiation from the sun's rays. Exposure to UV rays increases the production of eumelanin, a type of melanin pigment that darkens the skin to protect it from damage. The ease of tanning varies between individuals and can have positive and negative effects on the health of the skin.
So this came in the skin report?
Yes.
See, I'm learning because I didn't buy it yet.
The ability to tan the skin is variable and genetically determined. People with certain variants in genes related to pigmentation have an ability to tan easier. The negative effect on the health of the skin within this SNP has to do with the lack of sunscreen use, as there can be a decrease in application if an individual feels they are not prone to sunburns. This can increase the level of possible skin damage.
Right, which is where the skin cancers come from, because as a kid, we were at the beach all the time. And when I was young in the 60s, we would put iodine and baby oil to make us even darker quicker. And I mean, I would burn to a crisp and then we peel. Yeah. It took me, I mean, once I got the initial burn of the summer, then I would tan. And it was the race all summer to who have the biggest tan to go back to school, right? And now I don't want it. I don't want skin cancer. I don't care. I mean, I don't even have the patience to stay on the beach for 5 hours anymore. I can't do it.
It's not even worth it. It's not worth it. It's just not. It's just not. But I will say, even with this, you know, I am at risk of hyper skin pigmentation. Most people of color deal with that.
Well, okay, so you're in the sun, and like you were in Mexico, for example, or when you're in Florida, when you're in the pool and you're hanging out in the sun. What happens? Do you put sunscreen on, or do you just let the sun beat down and then you pay later and put vinegar on? What happens to you? Do you darken? Do you blister? What happens?
Yeah.
Do you burn?
Only around the shoulders or the nose do I burn. Other than that, then the skin just gets darker. Then I'm fine. But it's just here and here where it will burn. But
right.
One time it got so bad I could feel the heat under my skin, and that was something new.
Wow.
I was
cooked. Like, you were cooked.
Yeah, I was done. Take them off the fire.
Done. Yeah.
But it tells me to wear sunscreen. And even if you are a person of color, you should wear sunscreen. Absolutely,
because the rays, that UV ray, that's going to cause cancer anyway. It's going to still burn and go through the skin. There's 7 layers of skin between the dermis and the epidermis, and getting deep into almost near your muscles and your bones. You got to be very careful because those rays will penetrate like radiation. It can hurt. And like you were saying, you could feel it underneath the skin and the muscles, and you got through to the dermis. You did. You were out a little too long without protection.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little.
But basically with my report, guys, anything with aging, I'm good. But I do have sun sensitivity. So, okay, the intergenic G allele of this variant associated with fair skin and higher risk of sun sensitivity, sunburn, and freckles, versus a green variant in this particular SNP with no freckles and tans easily. Wow.
Okay. And I get freckles when I'm in the sun. I freckle and I burn. Okay. Yes, my nose and my shoulders first, of course. For some reason, the way the rays hit our face and our shoulders beyond the stomach or your knees, or if you're laying down, sometimes your knees are going to burn before your thighs, or you get that your back's going to burn and not so much your front, or you're going to get, it's just how the rays are on an angle where your body is positioned.
Okay. So yeah, so in that, the intergenic, I have, it's red in that one. Now it mentions sunburn and freckles. Now my mom has freckles. I don't though.
Well, on your chart, I can't see because it's too small. Does the part that talks about freckles and burning and eyes, do you have a yellow, green, or red in that?
It's red.
So you've got all of that from both parents. You have brown eyes?
Yes.
Okay, and I have green eyes. My dad has blue and my mom has brown. Or had brown. How I got green, I have no idea, because green's the rarest color of eyes around. Brown's the most common. So you inherited your eye color. We all do, but you also inherited more of the sensitivity from both parents regarding your eyes and your skin and the vulnerability So it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's just this is how you, Storm Monroe, were created as this man walking on the planet at this time. And now taking your nutrition, it's going to balance it so that you're at less risk or you won't burn as much. It'll be interesting next summer. You may be able to tolerate the sun in a different way. We don't know yet, but that'd be something to watch too on your next trip to, well, when we go to Cancun in February, we're out in the sun. We'll see how much we can tolerate then, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was just
everybody listening is able to go to Cancun with us. It's not just us, it's everybody.
It's everybody. Absolutely. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. So let me go.
You're going to get your whole entourage following to Cancun. They're all going to want to meet you. Oops, I gave it away.
Anti-aging skin, all green. I'm not going to age.
No, you're not. You're going to stay beautiful, and you're going to stay really cool, and you're going to stay pretty much yourself. I'm going to have to get this and see what mine says. This is fascinating. I'm glad you got it.
Wrinkles, I'm green. I'm good.
So your skin's going to stay tighter, and you're not going to have to worry about little lines or falling apart. Some people age very quickly, as you've seen. You can see somebody in their 30s and 40s are already wrinkled, or their eyes have more than crow's feet. And then I know some people that are my age, but they look like they're 90, you know, because their genetics are so, the elasticity has gone out. This is going to keep you plump, or there's collagen in some of their products. It's going to keep you healthy. You're not going to need you're not going to need the knife.
You're right. Because even collagen utilization, green.
Yeah, no, you're healthy in this area. It's not, see, he's not perfect. Nobody is. He didn't have 50 greens. There's the vulnerability from mom or dad, but they don't say mom or dad. They just say one parent gave you this, and this is what you're going to be taking to fix it.
Yeah.
You're just bumping it up. But rather than going and taking it off the shelf, not knowing what you really need, this takes all the guesswork out.
It really does.
It's it's a clinical dose based on your swabs.
And let's just talk about really quick how pure and clean the ingredients are.
The one thing I learned, I met the CEO of the company, I met the doctor, I met some of the people at the very top. The woman that brought me in is a very famous actress who's also a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Sharon Winters. Then all this stuff's on YouTube, or you can go to the app and look at little 3-minute videos. It's all there at euphoriascience.com/stormmonroe. And then you can get your own website and help people. But the purity of all these ingredients we've been talking about, when it hits the lab in Texas, which is where the company is, and if the vitamin B doesn't, they send out all the ingredients of the minerals and the plants and the vitamins that they receive, they send it to a third party to analyze to make sure it meets all the standards. And when it doesn't meet the pure standards, they send it back. And a lot of times our product may be on back order a few days because they didn't want to use less than perfect ingredients. Yes. How many times have you bought something off the shelf, myself included, or you buy online, you get a bottle and it's half empty? Or you wonder if there's any powder really in the capsules. Or you wonder, well, how come if it's such a large jar, why is it only filled up that? Because if you really count, say you bought vitamin C, 500 milligram, you're supposed to get 100. I counted one time and I had 87.
Wow.
You don't even know if you're getting a full bottle, but you think you're buying from any retailer. You don't know. But if you really take the time, it's like, wow, they're taking my money. They want me to pay more. They're $69.95 over here and $29 over there and 2 for 1 over here.
No, they're not sending your DNA to the Mormons. No. I don't know where that came from, but
no.
And EG, no, I keep telling y'all, if you have an iPhone, you've already given them your thumbprint. So I don't know.
The computers, the smartphones, the smart TVs, your Bluetooth in the car, they know.
Have they read the fine print when you get an iPhone? Have you read the fine print?
No, but what does it say? That you're being tracked?
Yes, that you give them permission to use that information as needed or if it's requested.
Nobody reads the small print. It's just like a month ago, I think I told you this on the phone, and I had no idea. Maybe people don't know this either. I do a lot of self-checkout at the market because I don't want to stand in line 6 feet apart. I want to get in and get out. Right. So I'm scanning. So a month ago, I had 2 acorn squashes. One had the label and the other did not. So I went like this. I put the other one down. A little bell rang. So the lady who works there in the aisle came over and she pushed a button, backtracked the computer. I did not know this, but when you and I are scanning our food, they're taping us. I was on video. See,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So I saw myself scanning. I didn't know we were being videotaped while we're scanning. So you think giving a swab to find nutrients is a problem? They got us, big brothers everywhere. I when I saw this, what we have Ralph's Market here in LA, in California, I thought, oh my God, they even record me scanning.
Yeah.
So the lady was able to back it up, pick up the other squash, weigh it, do the code, and charge me. I wasn't going to steal it. It's just I put it down to keep scanning, but I didn't know I was being recorded. There's a little camera recording us. This isn't going to the government, folks. And if you're really paranoid and scared about your DNA, because this has come up with some of my customers, you can pay an extra fee to have them destroy it. But all it is, it goes into the computer, your barcode. So once a month, they know, okay, give it this formula, just like your formula. We went through all the ingredients. They just keep it. There's hundreds and thousands of people. So when it's time, like he's got the green capsules, which are vegetarian. And like I said, I do the powder. No, the powder doesn't taste wonderful. It's kind of bitter. But I've learned to take 1 scoop in the morning, and it's almost time to do my second. I put it in water, and sometimes I add cacao and shake it up. So I've got like a chocolate water.
Okay.
Or I'll put some vanilla, or when I was doing coffee and it was coffee flavored, you can doctor it up. It's just getting the nutrients in the body and let it work on your cells and your genes. It works on your genes. And then it's like everything we've said, the thyroid, the blood, the skin, what you can work out with, if it's your brain, if it's your dopamine, if it's your hunger, if it's your cravings, it's you.
It's you.
Your bowels, I hate to, but we all go, just like the commercial say.
I hope you
goes.
do. Yeah, I hope you do.
Even Storm, some people have asked me if you do, because they have you on such a pedestal. So yeah, Storm goes to the bathroom.
Yes, I do. I promise.
You do? Really?
I do. And if I don't, I'm not a nice person.
I bet you're nicer with this, though.
Yes. And so to close it out, Dr. Linda, any final words for people who may be skeptical?
Yes. I have tried many different MLMs, different products with different health companies through the years. I had been on many medications through the years. I've been through all of the ups and downs with the eating disorders and drinking days and drugs. I don't mind saying I'm 36 years sober. I don't have drugs in my body. I don't have alcohol in my body. I don't smoke anymore. I gave up gum, and now it's the caffeine. People go, what's next? Well, there's still sex and fun and dating and movies and writing. And I mean, it doesn't matter. I just am not being self-destructive.
Yes.
The last part to close is on TikTok. People can Google this. A man by the name of Greg Braden. He's very well known as an author. I got a copy of it. He analyzed the DNA strands, taking a Hebraic book that's been published or translated into English just once, and he took the periodic table, which is for chemistry, and took all the elements, and assigned the DNA strands, letters and numbers, and he found a sentence. This is DNA, again, and it says, God eternal within the body. I didn't make that up. God, whoever made humans, it's all so intricate. Like, why are we having a pandemic? Why is it worldwide? Why is it all this? It's like, who's really mastering all of it? Well, who mastered humans? They're trying to kill us one way, and they're trying to starve us over here, and they're trying to make you this over there, and take this, take that, and this causes cancer. You just want to be healthy and get through life.
You do.
The best you can, and you want to give it to your children. Dr. Jen Myers uses her own kids when she's creating a new product. And if the kids like the flavor, she makes it. So the kids, you can give this to people, anybody. The last thought is, I've been on a journey all my life to stay healthy or to find the answer, which is why I got into healthcare, looking for answers for me. You know, I'm not in the hospitals. I do clinical work, but most of my work is with you guys on the phone and make appointments, and I will help you. But this takes it to one more level. So you feel better, or you don't want to get up in the morning, or once you get up, you don't know if you feel good or what you're supposed to eat. And
Yes.
it's always like, what am I going to eat? What about this? Well, maybe you're craving cookies and sweets because of something genetic or the addiction to the sugar, when really you need a protein and a fruit. Oh,
Yeah.
that's boring. No, I want a donut, you know. No, your body will change because your, like you said, your cravings change because your DNA that you're born with, Storm just told you what he's got, the greens, the reds, the yellows. Now he's feeding his body what it needs clinically.
Yes.
Clinically. It's been figured out for us. Once a month, you get a jar in the mail. Once a month. You don't have to buy all the other stuff if you don't want it. The option is there. The option to serve other people and be of service and sign people up. Yeah, make money because everybody's out of work or jobs are scarce or you don't want to go back or you've been on unemployment. You have an opportunity.
You do.
To grow. The girl above me, Sharon, she was with another company for 35 years, made millions, and took her sick husband to Europe for cancer treatments back in the 80s or 90s because she does this. And now she's with this company. And she had me try another company that was CBD, and I said, I don't like it. And a year later, she said, try this. And I'm being a scientist, I understand DNA. And as soon as she said what it was about, I said, let me look. And I signed up, and I haven't turned back. I know what's not good.
Yes, yes. You know, and believe it or not, it's so funny. I have you, Dr. Linda, and then another friend of mine, he's an epidemiologist as well. But he just ended up going into like psychology after, and as well as like personal training and stuff.
Yeah, we all go into different areas. We're not just doing the research.
I know, but all you epidemiologists around me, I can't learn, you know. So
maybe it's in your genes.
maybe. Oh my goodness.
Maybe in a past life you did research on diseases. No, it's not skin. It's disease.
It's disease.
It's epidemics, not epidermis.
Yes.
That's funny. That's really funny. 2 epidemiologists, and that's the big name today, you know. Big word. Well, we're here to help you.
Big thing.
But you're here to help them. And we're
Absolutely.
here to help everybody.
Let me ask you this. I'll just speak for myself. If I'm more interested in learning about just nutrition, period, where would I start? Or do I have to go get a degree?
No, you do not have to get a degree. No, you do not. There's plenty of information on, you know, just go online and ask about what you're looking at. If you want to look at what sugar really does versus vegetables, look up food, just Google nutrition. You're going to find 1,000 different nutritionists. You're going to find everybody has a different plan of eating. You've got the keto versus the paleo versus Weight Watchers versus 12-step versus Mediterranean versus Atkins. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Everybody's got, no, you want more protein, less carbs. No, you want high carb, less protein. You want more fat, less protein. You know what? You can try it all. And if it doesn't work, it's probably in your genes as to why you're not saturated or full and you're still looking to eat something because you're not being fed genetically. And that's why I was up to 245 pounds. Even if I ate steak and broccoli, I was still hungry, or I was addicted to the sugar, or I was addicted to the bread. Once I'm off of it, I don't miss it. It's just going through it because we are programmed to eat.
Yes. I mean, even when I was coming up, I was told to have 7 to 11 servings of bread a day, and it's just like, oh no, no. I feel horrible with all that bread
because it's flour. And your body would take it and it turns into, like we were talking earlier about digesting Mexican food, it's pasty.
Yes.
It gets pasty in there. And until it digests, I don't feel well with bread or pasta either. And growing up, my mom would make spaghetti on like Tuesdays or something. And she had the most amazing sauce. But she'd pile on the noodles And I didn't like it, but I didn't understand. I was really allergic to the flour, and I didn't really digest it well, even though it looked great. And I wanted to be like my sisters and my dad and eat it all up. But I always felt indigestion, just like with matzo balls. I don't like Jewish food, so I don't eat it anymore. But growing up, that's what you did. But your body starts talking. And remember, God eternal within the body. Again, it's like going back to Dr. Young, or what I teach people spiritually. When you be still, for I am God, your own intuition speaks.
Yes.
And we'll still eat, or we might feel guilty. And don't please so-and-so because they baked the cake or they made the enchiladas. And
I'm past that stage. If you're offended, you're disappointed.
You get to the point in life where you take care of you.
Yes.
Because no one else is going to do it. No one else is going to sweep the floor unless you hire somebody. No one else is going to take the trash out unless you got someone that does it. No one's going to change the laundry unless you've got someone that does. It's up to us to take care of our body. This is the only body we get. And the body is the temple to the soul.
It is.
And the soul enters.
And speaking of body, let me just brag on
mine.
Look
at you, dude.
Let me just brag on mine. So I just love how, like, when I ate more meat and vegetables and just like took out the carbs, my body looks amazing. Versus I tried the vegetarian diet and it didn't really work.
That's not enough for you. You're not full. Talk about being saturated. You didn't feel full. You didn't feel
I was exhausted. I couldn't work. I was asleep every day by like 6 p.m. It just, it was bad. I was like, I can't do that, right?
You know, we need protein, but it doesn't mean you're just going to go get Chick-fil-A or hot dogs, which aren't real protein. It's protein in it, but it's a mix of other stuff. You want chicken, you want fish, you want beef, you want pork, you know.
Even there. That picture.
Look at how you're not bloated and you're not extending your...
No filters, right? Let's see what else.
You've changed a lot, yeah.
Look better than ever. I'm gonna brag for everybody that talks shit. Now talk about this.
But you work really hard for it, dude.
That's true. Look better than ever with just my steak and my vegetables.
Because your body's absorbing it. Just like one girl was anemic, and she was taking iron pills all the time, which is also constipating because it's iron. So when she got her formula, she called the company and complained there was no iron. They said, just take it. Well, as God eternal within the body, the DNA, her body naturally absorbs iron from food now.
Wow. So she didn't even need that.
No, but nobody tells us that.
Yes. And the doctors don't know. They're just
They just know what they know. And then here's a thyroid pill. Okay, you're a little low. Your T3s and T4s. Okay, you're within that range. You might be parathyroidic. Let's do this. Let's have surgery. They just follow the model. This is science.
Yes.
You can't trust the science. Trust the DNA. It's what genetics is only since 1953. And then DNA is only, what, in the 70s or 80s when they started with the TV shows.
So we're still relatively new.
It's all new because they started using DNA to solve cases, okay? So whether it's blood on a dress or blood on a knife, or if they found hair samples, they were able to trace it back to the person's DNA, or it used to be the main one was always the dental records, right? But now it's broader because DNA is so much broader. Yes, this is still a form of DNA because you're taking a stick and you're swabbing your cheeks, you're sending it in. It's not going to the police. It's not going to the government. It's not going to tell you what your ancestry is and if you're 1 part Jewish and 20 parts African and 3 parts Italian. That's not what this is. It's going to tell you what your genes need and what your body needs so that you're balanced, whole, and healthy.
I think we should leave it there. This was nice.
Give them your
once again, you guys can go to euphoriascience.com/stormmonroe. Not only is the link in the description box, so Dr. Linda, you can't see it, but they can on YouTube. It's like right below us.
Okay.
It's literally right in the chat for you to click and go. You can actually check out my link in my bio on Instagram. It's going to be there. We're going to talk about this more.
Yeah, we're going to do an Instagram thing. Can I put out my website, or do you want to put it out for them?
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
If people want to talk to me for psychic stuff or the candles, or if you want more information that Storm's been talking about, you want to sign up, you can go to lindasalvin.com, or you can and email me that you want some help or that you would like to purchase my services. And the beauty is that if you work with me and I help you in all aspects of your life, and you work with Storm on the health end, you're going to be mind, body, spirit. You're going to be so much healthier on all levels that your life will make sense again.
It really will. It really, really will. I'm excited. You know, I'm going to tell you about once we end this, tell you about my new plans, my new venture, but I'm so excited, and I'm going to leave it there. Okay. They're going to have their questions. We're here to answer them. And so like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I will catch you later. Dr. Linda, you can sign off if you want.
Thank you.